Unlike the tainted teething powders of old that contain mercury and a multitude of other nasties,
modern teething powders contain very few ingredients.
Sometimes too few.
It's most often their other ingredients that are causing the abrupt changes that most parents witness.
Because some of them don't even contain a single molecule of their advertised active ingredient.
Fun Fact Friday, week 164.
Modern teething powders are full of nothing.
Hello, I'm Bev.
And I'm Jamie, and thank you for joining us for another Fun Fact Friday.
Come and plant small acorns with us by sharing this or any of our other videos with anyone who'll benefit from them.
Yes, we are still banging the drum about teething.
And this is our 9th week of doing so.
Check out our teething playlist and work your way through our weird history surrounding teething, some of which we appear to be reliving.
If teeth are going to enter your life soon, or already have, wouldn't it be great to know when each one will arrive?
Go and download our super easy teeth arrival chart from the links in the description.
Last week we mentioned that there are 3 main types of teething medicines available for your little one: homeopathic, herbal and topical anaesthetics.
We covered the anaesthetics last week and we're diving into the remaining ones today.
You may also remember that we added a 4th type of medicine: sweet ones.
Let's dive straight in and explain the difference between homeopathic and herbal in a sentence.
Herbal remedies have a measurable amount of the ingredient that they are advertised to contain. Homeopathic ones do not.
This is, in our opinion, where parents are being taken advantage of, and the misleading marketing on the packets makes it hard for parents to tell the difference.
We'll focus on modern teething powders this week, some that have been colloquially named baby cocaine.
Which you could argue is actually what we covered last week.
There quite literally may have been real baby cocaine too, something we covered a few weeks back.
If you type teething powder into Google, there will be 2 brands that will dominate the results.
Nelson's Teether Teething Granules
And
Ashton and Parsons Infant Powder.
they both claim to contain chamomile, one of the most ancient medicinal herbs known to mankind. Yet only one of them definitely does.
Can you tell the difference? Many can't.
The active ingredients stated are
Nelson's 6C of chamomilla,
aka chamomile, and
Ashton and Parsons 0.002 millilitres of tincture of matricaria.
also otherwise known as chamomile.
There are 2 well-used species of chamomile used today: Roman chamomile and German chamomile.
Both of these remedies refer to the German chamomile.
So what is the difference between the 2?
Herbal remedies are made with the plants or tinctures of the plants that are advertised on their labels.
They contain a measurable amount of that ingredient, often expressed in millilitres.
Homeopathic remedies contain the essence of the ingredient in a dilution.
Homeopathic dilutions are most commonly measured using a number followed by the letter C.
This denotes how many times it has been diluted. The higher the number, the more dilutions it has undergone.
Bonus fact number 1. Homeopathic treatments are not classed as medicines and are therefore unregulated in both the US and the UK. This lack of regulation led to potentially lethal doses of belladonna being found in teething tablets in the US in 2016 and a suspected 10 related deaths.
So, why is one active ingredient measured in millilitres and the other in C?
Comprehending millilitres is pretty easy. Any cook will tell you that 5 millilitres is a teaspoon, 10 millilitres is a dessert spoon, and 15 millilitres is a tablespoon.
But what the f is a C?
C stands for centesimal, meaning or relating to divisions into hundredths.
1C is defined as a substance diluted to 1 part in 100th.
So 1 millilitre of chamomile into 99 millilitres of water would be 1C.
This would be considered a very weak homeopathic remedy.
Homeopaths claim that the more you dilute an active ingredient in water, the stronger the medicine becomes.
2C would be 1 ml of the 1C we just made, diluted into a further 99 millilitres of water.
3C would be 1 millilitre of the 2C liquid into 99 millilitres of water.
You can probably see where this is going.
Once you get to 6C, the amount in Nelson's, it has been monumentally diluted. 6C is the same as 10 to the minus 12.
To express that in millilitres, it would be 0.0000000000001 milliliter. We should probably note that 6C isn't considered particularly strong in homeopathy terms. 30C is the most commonly used and is typical in most homeopathic medicines.
30C is 10 to the minus 60 and would have 59 zeros between the decimal point and the 1.
30C is so heavily diluted that not a single atom of the original ingredient remains.
The explanation of why these mixtures still work is
that shaking the mixture after every dilution leaves behind a spirit-like essence of the ingredient.
the suggestion is that water has a memory of what was put into it.
To me, this explanation has religious connotations.
And if this were true, then every substance that ever met a drop of water would leave an essence behind.
Wouldn't it contain the memory of other things like sugar and salt and urine and feces?
It's also worth comparing these homeopathic dilutions to the standards used in laboratories.
Take the super pure water they use, known as ISO 3696, that has to have a purity of 10 parts per billion.
It is so pure that it cannot be kept in plastic or even glass containers because they leach impurities into the water.
Glassware used with it must be washed in highly toxic hydrofluoric acid before use.
The equivalent of this highly pure water in homeopathic terms would be 4C.
If 4C was expressed in time, it would be the equivalent of 30 seconds in a century.
So why do some people swear by homeopathic remedies?
The most obvious answer, but generally misunderstood, is the power of placebo.
The second is the power of sweetness.
Many people understand what a placebo is, but fail to comprehend just how powerful it is.
Placebos have been shown to affect a range of health conditions.
From depression and anxiety to IBS, Parkinson's disease and epilepsy.
Bonus fact number 2. If a placebo is administered in a tablet form, you can alter its effectiveness by changing a few factors. The number of placebo tablets you give can alter their potency, more being perceived as more potent. You can change their size too. The bigger they are, the better they appear to work. You can also change their colour. Reds, yellows and oranges have a stimulating effect, whilst blue and green have a tranquilizing effect.
When it comes to parents, they are just as susceptible to the power of placebo as anyone else.
And this is one of the reasons that there are so many sham medicines on the market aimed at babies and their parents.
Yet, many parents fail to recognise the real reason these medicines appear to have an instant effect.
As powerful as placebo is, it's more than likely the second reason, sweetness, that is creating the belief in these remedies.
Last week we looked at modern teething gels and discovered that they use sweetness to their advantage too. To recap,
sweetness from sugar or sweeteners acts upon the opioid receptors that produce something called sweet-induced analgesia. Sweet-induced analgesia is very fast-acting.
the instant relief that parents witness is associated with the remedy and its active ingredients.
Yet, the fillers that are most often labelled as also contains or other ingredients are most often causing the effect of instant soothing.
It's the sweeteners and sugars that are causing sweet-induced analgesia, or in the case of a third brand, Weleda Chamomilla granules, just straight up table sugar, labelled as sucrose.
Stay tuned in coming weeks as we delve deeper into sugar as an analgesic.
We'll lead out today's Fun Fact Friday by looking in more detail at the ingredients of the two market leaders' formulas, and we'll explain them too.
Each sachet of Ashton & Parsons contains just 2 ingredients.
Its active ingredient is 0.002 millilitres of tincture of chamomile.
Let's be straight, this is a tiny amount of chamomile.
But it's a measurable amount. It's possible it could be enough to have a calming effect.
Its other ingredient is 130 milligrams of lactose.
Lactose is a milk sugar that is comprised of 1 galactose molecule and 1 glucose molecule.
The immediate calming effects will most definitely be sweet-induced analgesia from the lactose.
There's also a chance that chamomile's calming effects may become present too.
Nelson's teething granules have a few more ingredients in their sachet and a dirty trick too.
The active ingredient in each sachet is 6C of chamomile.
That's 0.0000000000001 millilitres of chamomile.
The sachet's ingredients have an also contained section too, and the list follows.
Lactose monohydrate.
Ignore the monohydrate, it's just lactose by another name.
Xylitol.
A sweetener that is extracted from birch trees.
Starch.
Mainly used as a bulking agent, but is also a carbohydrate that when broken down becomes glucose.
Pre-gelatinized maize starch.
This just means that it's cooked corn flour. Again, a starch that will end up as glucose.
Looking at those, you can see that they've doubled down on the initial quick hit of sweet-induced analgesia by using both lactose and xylitol.
But they have a dirty trick up their sleeve too. You see, there'll be a second delayed sugar-induced analgesia hit from the starches.
No wonder Nelson's appears to work so well.
And to achieve all that without even a trace, maybe even without a molecule of its stated active ingredient.
Modern teething powders contain very few ingredients.
They don't contain sneezes.
Some that have been colloquially, so I wasn't ready for that word. Some that have been colloquially named. Colloquially. Oh, pass my handkerchief. I'm really aware of my face.
You have a face? What?
That's
That's
what my brain is doing. Oh my God, your face! What is your face doing? Tincture of matricara. Tincture of matricara. Matricaria.
Oh, I left the whole fact in.
Fact number 1, and Jamie's left the whole thing in. Oh no. Homeopathy. Pretty easy. Any cook will tell you that
I just looked down, sorry.
For goodness sake, don't look at yourself there. You're supposed to be looking at yourself there.
So, I've got the spoon in my hand.
That 5 millilitres is a teaspoon. 10 millilitres is a dessert spoon. And 50 millilitres is a tablespoon. I held them all the wrong way round and I couldn't get that last one. C stands for
We should probably note that 6C isn't considered. It's not considered particularly strong.
You also didn't say 6C very enunciating. Sorry.
Oh, someone's using a posh word. You're going to enunciate.
I'm also saying it correctly rather than you didn't enunciate that word.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We should probably note that 6C isn't considered particularly strong in homeopathy terms. It's no. You okay?
Yeah, don't ask.
I just did.
Yeah, my brain wants to say something completely different.
Yeah, I was about to say a really joke. Is you shouldn't swear by anything, especially not homeopathic remedies. Yeah, I'm allergic to bull as well. Thank you for joining us for another Fun Fact Friday.
Our mission is to transform the way our society approaches pregnancy, birth, babies and parenting, one small acorn at a time.
But we can't do that without your help. So please like, comment and share to help the algorithm gods spread more small acorns.
And if you are on YouTube, please subscribe and get alerts for a new fun fact every Friday.
We'll see you next week.